Hello, everyone. This is Devin Thorpe for Your Mark on the World, and we have a remarkable young social entrepreneur as our guest today. Stephanie David is the CEO and founder of PopNod, and she is reinventing the way we shop and provide some benefit to our favorite charities. Stephanie, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Devin, for having me.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. Listen, to begin with, there's so much I want to discuss with you. This is such a great premise, such a great project. Tell us fundamentally what PopNod is and does.
Sure. So fundamentally, PopNod is an online shopping destination for social good. And what we strive to do is simply integrate charitable giving with an activity that people do throughout the year, like online shopping. And so we have about 300 major online stores as part of our PopNod community, and we work with right now about 100 nonprofits and organizations. And what we do is we give shoppers really the ability to choose the favorite stores that they shop at, and to be able to simply support the causes they really care about. And at the same time, what we believe in is rewarding our shoppers for doing good in the world. And so while shopping at one of our major stores, you also get rewarded with cashback savings at the same time.
So you're delivering some rewards to our favorite charities and giving us cash back. How are you able to do that?
And I get that question a lot. We work closely with our major retailers. And so, we help the major retailers drive customers at their online shops. And what we do is, we derive our revenue from that, and then we also give back, a portion of that to the shoppers themselves via the cashback savings, and also to the nonprofits and organizations that the shoppers choose.
Well, this is really exciting. So essentially, you're paying me to shop, and you're also paying my favorite charity because I shopped. I mean, that's just a remarkable model.
And that's what we loved about this is the concept of the win-win for both the customer and the charities. And really, I mean, how the idea came up is, I had personally worked at, wonderful corporations, and one of the most valuable aspects that I found at those corporations is that they found innovative ways to give back to their communities, and had such great corporate social responsibility programs. So taking that, I had a personal desire to take that one step further and try to see personally where I can give back even more and in a much broader way. And so, there were a couple of studies out there when I was thinking about this concept. I mean, one study showed that people are more inclined to donate when they have their wallets out. And I think organizations like Salvation Army had really leveraged that and capitalized that behavior around the holiday shopping season. And the second study that I found fascinating was that 80% of customers are willing to switch to another brand that's associated with a charity of choice. And, I was thinking to myself, well, why does a customer need to switch brands? Why can't they just shop at the stores they know and love and support any charities that they choose, as well as doing it all year round and not just a one-time annual giving period? And so that is how the idea of PopNod really came about.
Well, this is really inspiring. So can you give us a sense of how much money per dollar I spend is going to the charity and how much I might get back in a cash back reward?
Sure. So typically amongst the 300 stores that we work with, the shopper should expect to receive anywhere between 2% to up to 12% cash back.
Wow.
So essentially up to 12% of their purchases. And what PopNod does is we take 20%, we match 20% of that cash back value that you earn from your shopping, and we donate that amount to the cause that the customer chooses.
Wow, that's
And
terrific.
so it is a win-win because it's really money that PopNod is donating, but then also we're giving the shoppers really the freedom to choose what causes they want to support as well.
Right, right. So, Stephanie, what are some of the retailers that you're working with? I presume it's all retailers we've never really heard of. They're all off-brand boutique stores that sell weird stuff, right?
Well, what was very important for us right off the bat is to work with major retailers. And that is really because we want to make it simpler for the shoppers to give back while they shop and not have to switch or go out of their way to shop at other brands they don't usually shop at. So we do work with Best Buy, Target, Bloomingdale's, Macy's. So I mean, really, if you take a look at our list of retailers, if you have a favorite one, we most likely have it. And one of the the biggest things that we wanted to promote amongst our member community is giving our members the ability to suggest stores that they want to see on PopNod, and even suggest nonprofits and organizations that they don't currently see there, but they want to support as well. So we're constantly building our list of major retailers based on our customer feedback, as well as adding new nonprofits and organizations to our community.
Now, I seem to recall, Stephanie, that you worked with Amazon too. You didn't mention that, but is
Uh,
Amazon on your roster?
they are on my roster. They are actually one of the more recent adds to our roster, and that was based on lots of feedback from our customers who shop with Amazon on a daily basis. So yeah, we're happy to say that they are one of our major stores in our community.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's such a huge part of the online ecosystem now. Well, who are some of the nonprofits, and how many nonprofits do you have on your roster there?
So we have about 100 nonprofits and organizations currently. We work with both small and large organizations. So a lot of the major nonprofits and nationally based nonprofits that you've heard of. Personally, to me, what I enjoy working with most is really discovering about a lot of the smaller or younger nonprofits that a lot of people may not have heard about. To me, it's been just such a wonderful journey meeting with various nonprofits, especially being based out of here in Washington, D.C. I find out about a new nonprofit every single day.
Right.
Um, and so, some of the nonprofits who are smaller don't have the resources to be able to elevate their brand, I would say, or market themselves in the social space. And so what I strive to do is be able to work with the nonprofits to help them market to potential supporters, help them to elevate their image. And so, that's probably been one of the most rewarding experiences for me throughout this journey. Um, I do want to mention this one example. About a week ago, I had met with a very small a nonprofit that has been around for a few years, based out of Washington, D.C. It really started as a personal project for herself. But one of the things that really struck me, and it's similar to a lot of the other smaller nonprofits that I've met with, is that I spent about 5 hours talking with her about her story and passion of why she started the nonprofit. And she was born in Senegal, Africa, and she had opened a school for girls in her home village. And she did so because when she was growing up in that village, she had discovered that there were a lot of very young girls, as young as age 10 or 11, who were forced to be married at a young age, and mostly to older men. And then also, some of them were forced into the streets or forced into the cities and were denied the education they really needed. And so this amazing woman had opened a school for the girls, and just hearing her story and how much she's trying to grow, even raise funds to keep the school growing, has been just a wonderful thing to hear about.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, Stephanie, how did you get started in this? What was the trigger for it?
So, as I mentioned earlier, I had worked for great companies that had programs, and they had such innovative charitable giving programs, but again, they were limited to once a year or annual giving programs. And it was really not until 2011 when I traveled to Thailand for the first time. And, personally, I've always been involved in the community and volunteering for various organizations. But I think it was this chance trip to Thailand where I had met a family who was operating an elephant farm. And they were primarily doing so to rescue and raise and breed Thai elephants. And it was a species that was very much endangered in the country. And they had dedicated their lives, just this one family, to eradicate this issue in an entire country. And they were making great strides and making huge impacts. And to me, that one trip made me think about, well, if one single family was able to make such a huge impact on this one country, what would happen if everyone had a chance to make their small impacts every single day of their lives? And so, thinking about ways that we can integrate giving back to communities to something that people just do every day. And that is how the concept of PopNod came about. So in 2013, after doing some research about existing platforms and solutions, we had found that there was really no solution that truly combined giving with a network of stores as well as rewarding the shoppers and supporters. So in the spring of 2013, we did a soft launch of PopNod in a lean startup mode to really test out the market. And with $0 spent on marketing, I realized that PopNod was gaining traction over the next several months. And so come fall of 2013, I decided to leave my corporate job to focus on PopNod full-time and dedicated to really growing the community of nonprofits and retailers on the site. And ever since, I've been really enjoying the journey and trying to find even more simpler ways for people to give on a daily basis.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Well, it's a great story, and I visited an elephant farm in Thailand. I doubt it was the one you visited, but that your story resonates with me because I was there about the same time you were there, and it really was a wonderful, wonderful place to visit up there in Chiang Mai, up in Thailand. It's a fantastic story, and I really am excited about the good work you're doing. So tell people how this works. How do people actually shop on the site and make a transaction and start accumulating the rewards and giving to charity?
Sure. So when you go into PopNod, what you can do is you create a profile. And what it is, it's really your ability to choose a nonprofit or a cause to support. And once you've chosen the nonprofit or cause to support, every future purchase will automatically go towards the donations or go towards that cause. And so once you've chosen your nonprofit, you will find our list of stores on PopNod, and whenever you click in any one of those stores, you are sent to the store's official website. And so the shopping experience is actually very seamless. Your experience would be exactly the same, as if you were shopping normally on that store's website. And once you make your purchase at that store, you would expect to receive an email from PopNod about 1 to 3 days from the time that you made your purchase, and it would show you how much cash back you have earned from that purchase, as well as how much has been donated to your cause. And what happens is that your transactions will be accumulated throughout a quarter, and at the end of each quarter, PopNod sends you your cashback payment, and that would be in the form of either a PayPal check or an Amazon e-gift certificate. And at the same time, the cumulative donations also get paid towards the causes and organizations at the end of each quarter. And so we tried to make the process as seamless as possible. And what I'm really excited about as well is that we recently launched some new features on PopNod where it gives you a more personalized shopping experience. So now you can actually favorite your stores on PopNod, and so that any time that you go into our portal, you will already see the stores that you shop at regularly. And then we also curate and handpick specific deals and additional coupons so you can save even more based on the stores that you favorite as well as based on the stores that you've already shopped at. So we're really trying to make it customized and personalized for each shopper's experience.
It sounds wonderful. I hope lots of people will give it a try because it seems like there's a lot of good to be done out there. I need a sneeze button. Oh, excuse me. Holy cow. You know, I've done 300 of these, and I think that's the first time I've ever had a full-on sneeze on air. So I apologize to everyone for that terrible faux pas. But it's, Stephanie, been a delight to have you, and I appreciate the good work you're doing and wish you every success.
Great. Thank you so much, Devin, for having me here again.
All righty. Let's do some good.